All right, man, peace. So, brothers, I've been following this storyline over the past week. It's basically pertaining to a single young liberal black female located here in New York City, in Harlem to be particular, who quote unquote broke up with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend decided, or ex-boyfriend at this point, decided that he was going to seek out his own revenge by picking up her son from his daycare center and just leaving him out in the middle of the street, unattended and unprotected. And I was going to add this to the series that I'm doing on Black Man Protect Your Seed, but I decided to make this a new series about whether or not the so-called black man should get involved in relationships when he knows that he's not mentally or emotionally mature enough to deal with the notion of assisting in raising another man's child. And really, this video will fit into both topics. Both topics are relevant and pertinent. And the reason why I want to bring this to brothers' attention is because I'm a firm believer that in order to avoid trouble, we have to see it coming before it comes. You should know who you are as a person. Are you mature enough to act as a steward over another man's child, especially knowing that most of these females are nothing but children their damn selves? When you enter into a so-called relationship with a female, and I know, brothers, I know you meet many of these so-called single mothers, and they may be good looking, and you find out that they have a child, and you say to yourself, well, that's just going to be a concubine. Well, at the end of the day, if you allow things to get serious, and if you're one of those cats who quote unquote falls in love, you are going to be put in the situation, in the predicament, where you are going to have to assume certain responsibilities, not just over the woman, but over the child as well. And please understand what you're getting into. Because no matter what happens, when the female decides that she does not want to be with you anymore, she does not care about the good things that you did for her, she's not going to care about what you did for the child. So please understand that going in. This is why I make videos about should men fall in love. The answer is no, no, and no. You love your significant other, but you don't fall in love with them. Because the vast majority of females in this society are liberal, and liberal females are sociopathic. Okay? They don't care about how their decisions affect anybody else other than them. And I've gone over this in the past. This is why the Most High gave the woman the maternal DNA, because he knows that she leans towards Luciferianism, and Luciferianism is all about self-aggrandizement. It's all about Thelima, do what you want, do what you will. So once again, brothers, it's incumbent upon you to understand whether or not you're ready to take on a father role for another man's child. And as a so-called black man, if you're involved with a woman of color, particularly a so-called black woman, and she has a child, you should take on that responsibility when you decide that you're going to be serious with that woman, because that's for the upliftment of our people. And if you know that you're not ready for that, there's nothing wrong with that. But just let her know. But more importantly, let yourself know first. Because a lot of cats are out here trying to live a role. And why live a role? Just be you. If you know that you're not someone who wants to be bothered with another person's child, be honest with yourself and be honest with the woman. And she'll just have to deal with that. And I mean, it's just going to be what it's going to be. But anyway, this storyline lasted for about 4 days. So I saved all of the segments pertaining to that storyline. So let's see what they have to say. Of course, they're going to talk about it and I'm going to chime in.
But first, a toddler, hand in hand with an adult who police say disappeared. Tonight, they're looking for the man they say ditched this little boy right after picking him up from daycare.
Now, look at that person's mugshot. I'm going to rewind it back a little bit.